Hello and welcome to another video for Oral Solutions Checkpoint. Okay, well, I managed to sort something with the phone memory that I lost. I took it to a phone shop and he managed to extract, well, he changed the screen for me to get access to what was on my phone. And obviously he put a screen back on the phone and he took it off. So basically this content here is older content up till maybe a few weeks ago. I've been doing bits and pieces on the Cavalier. So basically it's just a follow-up from the first video when I bought the Cavalier. So this is generally just wee bits and pieces I've done to it so far, and changed wee bits and pieces and cleaned it and that. But at the end of the day it'll make good content. It'll lead on to a third video, because it's just not enough hours in the day to put into things. But you'll see where I am with it and I'm sure you'll agree it's a pretty good video. Aye, so this here can only be one thing, some new parts for the Cavalier. We're going to get them fitted up and see if we can get it running a little bit better. Just ever so slight misfire just now, so I'm hoping that this here will be the cure to it. So first things first on the agenda, we're going to set the distributor cap up with the new plug leads. Need the distributor cap out as well. Nice, shiny, new dizzy cap. Make sure it's seated in properly. Okay, so basically for the old distributor cap, it's got a little groove just right in there. Right, so the second one is this here one. Okay, so unplug, put the new one in. Right. Where that is removed, or putting it into this bottom one here. Just basically replicating how this other one plugged in. Plug for plug. So now we need to put this one here. Unplug there. New one. So it's the back one here, right? So the back one here, and this is here. So the next one is this third one. So that's the one that goes in that top one. I'll cap out. Removed. The only one left is this finish away one. So when we're placing this up, take the whole dizzy cap off. Okay. Just a little bit done inside. The rotor arm off. I'm going to get this wee one out. And it's got a little groove in here. I'm going to be open to the little groove in here. So that fits in properly. Okay, I'm now ready to offer up new digital. groove. Press the side clutch like so. Coil back, lead. Make sure it's not tangled with anything else. And you want to on plug. Off and the coil pack. Okay. That's the old ones removed. Old distributor cap. Put the old stuff aside. Okay, so what we're going to focus on now is doing the spark plugs individually and get them replaced up. So to tidy this up, just put them into the wee places. So you just do it numerical order. So the furthest away one, second one is your second groove, your third one is in your third groove. Right, you can put your first one up as well. Some people just leave it, but it's better being tidy than not. And then just tuck your wires in below. Okay. I think what we'll do in this occasion, the coil lead, we will tuck in underneath the battery. Okay. Now I think what my plan of action will be tomorrow is try and dress this engine up and get it looking good within reason. You know how old this vehicle is, like we want to get it looking good within reason. So we've now got our 10mm spark plug remover. Inside this has the little black suction bit, which will mean you'll be able to lift the plugs out. With these you don't really, it's not really a problem because you don't really have like a deep bit to lose them in. Okay, so I haven't even took these out to check the condition of them or anything. Just seems to be running very rich. So new plugs, new leads, new dizzy cap and the new rotor arm inside. So let's see how it tallies up with that. Obviously the next thing we're going to be doing, we're going to do the oil change and the antifreeze, but we'll do that in another video.
As you can hear, the misfire is still present, so the next thing I would be doing is checking the injectors and seeing what the deal is with that.
I'm heading in there now, it's like 9 o'clock at night. So I thought about give a wee video of the process of cleaning the engine. Just put some cleaner on just now. Apply some more to get off the thing. Like a fried simple stuffing once this is done. There we have it. That, my friend, is how it's done. So So I'm getting the wee Cavalier out a run. I'm going to take it to Canale House and do a nice wee video walk round of it for you guys. Obviously it's not been validated, I just give it a quick wash and clean the engine bay up, and what an absolute difference the clean engine bay makes. It's unbelievable. I'm quite happy with my purchase. It's very solid for its age, and regardless of cost, I definitely feel I've backed myself a bargain. I'm sure you guys will agree. Obviously not all of you are old car people or Vauxhall people or whatever, but at the end of the day, that's your own prerogative. Nowadays, I just like any classic, you know. Back in the day, I loved Cavies, but obviously Vauxhall went a bit different. They went down a route that I didn't like, but the nostalgic Vauxhalls will always forever stay in my heart. I've owned plenty of coupes, like old Calibras and that Manta Mark 1 Cavalier coupe as well, but I don't think anything compares to a wee soft top. Just the feel good factor. Absolutely beautiful. It's hard to believe this was the same engine you seen at the start of the video whenever I was doing the plug leads and that. Absolute beautiful condition under the bonnet. Aye, it's never going to be a show winner, but very, very impressive anyway. Aye, it has its marks and that round it, but it's wee usual chips on the front balance. Got a wee healthy ding here. It's hard to pick up with the camera. This is like odd wee paint chips, I think, when it hasn't been painted right. I think it's been painted from the line down and blown in, and whatever they've done with the paint, it hasn't really set right because it seems to be lots of craters. I'm not a painter, so I can't really give a rundown of what's actually happened there, eh? Would it be worth getting somebody to paint it? You know, a lot of people out there that I know that sat beside a painter. Really wouldn't want them to ruin it. And fair enough, paintwork's bad, but really it's not hard on the eye. I really wouldn't want to bugger it up, just somebody being spiteful. But hey, what a really nice example. Do you know, think? A couple of wee bits. This here wee bit here. One of my friends has got an upholstery business. I'm going to speak to him about it, see what they can do about it. See if it can be salvaged. The hood is in very good condition. Just obviously it's getting into the wrong hands and someone's put sealer in behind this. Oh, honestly, I don't know what goes through people's heads, eh? Another thing that's ruining my happiness right now must be like a bit of chewing gum or something that's stuck on the roof. Tried getting it off with the power washer, but no chance. Now the hood is in very good condition, but on the inside it's got a bit of sagging on the headline. I believe that's going to be something that'll be easy enough sorted. But I really want to get a tape deck in this. What a great feeling! The open road, the wind blowing through your... Well, you get what I mean anyway. Fantastic! This thing turns heads, boy. For a 36-year-old car, and it's still impressing people. Well, I knew that if I let the roof down for long enough, the sun would come out. It's kinda out. It's getting there. I need to go and park this up and get some work done. I've mucked about too much this morning. I need to go and get to my next job. I'm just putting Q-rust in the back valance. So my idea, obviously below these doors, they are pretty rough. They're not rusty, but they're rough. So I was thinking maybe clean them up as much as I can and do them black from the trim down the way. Even this front valance is all cracked as well. I think it would look a hell of a lot better if it was maybe painted as well. Quite possibly the bumpers done like a matte black or a matte grey. This big dent annoys me. See, would I just ruin it if I put stone guard on this? I'm down at the unit now and I'm going to be doing some work on the Cavalier. I'm going to hit it with Raptor and I'm going to do it Stornoway grey. And I'm going to do the front valance, the plastic valance. I really don't know what to do with the below the doors, the below the door trim, whether to Raptor that one. We'll be removing the bumper now. So it appears to be 213 mils on the inside. So once this dries in, I'll be able to get in about it with the grab adhesive sealer in to be able to make that nice and tidy. The sealer I'm using won't be really rubbery, it'll be quite a strong fix, and once I've done that I'll get all the valance sorted for the Raptor paint. If you don't already know what Raptor paint is like polyurethane based paint, so it's kind of rubbery and it's more hard wearing. I believe it's better than your average under seal, and it's easier to keep clean as well. So I'm thinking we'll do the valances below the door trim, front valance as well, do it all Raptor grey. Actually the colour is Stornoway grey, which I think is actually quite a nice colour. That's actually really solid. I actually thought it would have been a lot worse in behind here. But no, actually it looks really presentable. Put this on a transit all the time, delivered it, and never came back through. There'll be a lot of purists that have lost their head in doing this, but if it works, it works. You can treat it, and the rest doesn't get it back. Doesn't look alright, does it then? It looks fine. So I dried it and put it all back together again. I'm going to take a wee detour via Linlithgow because there's a classic car show going on in the street. Just going to cruise past in the Cavy. I'll not be stopping. A nice old BMW convertible. Actually quite nice. Old Bedford CF, you see that, the red one? That's the one from the Red Do Carmine usually. Still trying to sell it. It's a bit of a buyer's market when it comes to classics. Lovely Mark II Escort. Can't really see much because I'm not staying, I'm just driving through. Aye, so this will be the longest journey that I've done in the Cavalier. It drives alright considering that it's got an injector down. It is running lumpy, but it seems to run alright. Obviously it could run better, could be a wee bit more powerful. Let's just head out onto the motorway now. Look at that, absolutely, look at that, absolutely beautiful. Saab 900 convertible. Whoa! So guys, I know what you are saying, it's a bit modern for the Cavalier, but I think they would look absolutely beautiful on that. What do you guys think? Picked them up for 150 bucks, which I thought was pretty decent. Can't really be grumbling at that. Right, so I'll get them fitted up. I'll need to work out when the MOT's up on that, but I'm definitely going to be selling the both of them this year. P100 and the Cavalier are going. I've seen another set of John Deere wheels, but I'll need to find out if they will fit because they're 9-inch steel wheels but with good tyres. Guys wanting £50 each for them, so I'm hoping, I think what I'll do, I'll ask on the John Deere site and see what people are saying, because the sooner I get a set of tyres for that, the sooner I can get it tested in some way, get it road legal and decide what I'm going to do with it. I've had about 15 offers and I'm no joking you, like even when I first got it I had my friends private messaging me, texting me how much you want for it, whatever, and see half of them I know they wouldn't spend what they're worth, you know, they're tight as two coats of paint and they would expect it for nothing. So quite possibly if I'm selling it I'll just put it on eBay. And as regards to eBay as well, I've got the Fiesta up on eBay and I've put it up for, I've put a reserve on it for £3,000. Book price, as you know, is like 4,700 and something, so I've put a £3,000 reserve on it. So it's already been up, it was up a full week and it ended on the Saturday night and it only went for 1,850 or something. Then I had some cheeky swine messaging me, oh, I was the winning bidder, would you what would you want for it? And I said to him, look, £3,000 would buy it, you know, told him what the book price was on it. He's like, you're kidding me on, pal. He says, it went for £1,800, I'll give you £1,900 for it. I said to him, look, I would rather keep it, I would rather fill it with plants and make it into a planter outside my house. They give it away for £1,900, because as you guys know how much I paid for that and how much I've put into it, and it's still a cheap car at £3,000, especially with the MOT on it. And the longer it sits out, the MOT is just dying out. You know, it was MOT'd in February and we're now on April. So what's it going to be? I'm going to keep it, I'll just get sign writing on it and I'll just park it at the side of the road and basically plug this channel. I'll get an old sign written and get people to come to the channel, or somebody decent comes along and buys it. It's getting ridiculous now because people are still under the influence that car prices are sky high, and you're seeing all these cars that are well overpriced, you know, and it doesn't seem to stop. I drove past a car lot that had a 2010 Transit Connect, a navy blue one, right, for $6,500. You know, that garage is renowned to be dear, but $6,500? Are you off your nut? Oh, I don't know. Okay, so the plan is to walk out a nice new set of wheels on this 17-inch limited edition Corsa wheels for my 2017 Corsa, so it should look pretty good. Hey guys, so there we go. It is looking fabulous. Well, a lot better than what it did. Old and new combined. It looks not too bad. And at the end of the day, they can always be swapped back to the 13th. I've ordered an injector for it, and the injector hasn't arrived yet, obviously because of Easter. So once the injector's here for it, I can then get it booked in for an MOT. Well, it seemed to be a good idea at the time to let the roof down. So out on the motorway it started absolutely pelting it down. But I'm not going to stop. I'm just running it up the motorway till I get off the motorway, till I get to safety, and then I'll put the roof up. So I'm absolutely dripping. You gotta do what you gotta do, I suppose. This wee car will be so much better once the new injector arrives, because it is sluggish, especially up in the higher gears. So once that's done, this will perform a hell of a lot better. It just feels quite rewarding to drive. It's old school, and it really makes you appreciate modern day brakes, because modern day brakes are brilliant compared to these. The best way I could describe the brakes on these, it's like standing on breeze blocks and then you eventually stop. You know, not none of this ABS. So what the plan is now, I have to fix the door lock so that it works off the key. The last time I fixed it, it popped off again. So I've got to do more of a permanent fix. And also this handle, we'll need to find a proper screw to make it fit. At the back of the window winder, there's a little metal clip. You just got to be gentle when you're removing that. Very, very fiddly to get off. Also, a little plastic trim. What has happened, this is the lock here, the back of your lock, and just in the cold weather this has popped out. So I think these should have some sort of clipping behind it to hold them in place, but it's obviously not been strong enough, so I'm just going to secure that in place and put it back together again. Obviously find better screws. Okay, so I've come up with more of a permanent fix for this. So I've managed to get it in the hole, but what I've done was, before I put it in, I've bent, if you imagine at the top part, it's bent like that. What I've done, I've bent it further round, right, so there's no chance of it falling out. So basically I've bent the bar for it to come in, and then just clipped it in with the pliers, and it's worked absolutely perfect. It really is a little thing to count. Now that is proper threaded bolts in to replace the ones that have been temporarily put in, and the door is completely solid now. So we're just going to get it built up, back up again. I've got it all clipped in, just get the wee grommets and that back on. But it's these little things that add whenever you're going to sell something. Obviously the less that people can pick up on, the better. Because see the now, it just looks like wear and tear. You know, it's not the nicest to look at, but it's not loose. You know, so once this is all built back up again, it'll look a wee bit more presentable. And then plus when the lock's working also, you know, especially because it's going for an MOT, I want it to be presentable whenever it goes into the testing bay. And I'm wanting the tester to actually compliment on it, on how it looks for being the age that it is. So with that little improvement, it feels a lot more solid whenever you're closing the door. For an old car, the car is quite impressive. Unless I get a really awkward MOT tester, this here one should pass no problem, without a doubt. So we'll keep our fingers crossed for the test day. So guys, today we're going to be fitting an injector. It's had a misfire for a while and I've just been taking it off and taking it off and taking it off. So the plan of action is this top rail, just going to undo all these jubilees and pop the top of the wheel off. Also, let's see, the plug that's on this here, this is the injector that's faulty. Now what's holding it in is, it looks to be maybe 7mm nut, or 7mm bolts. But hopefully it'll be straightforward. There's quite a lot of stuff in the way, but obviously I can remove things like this accelerator cable, just leave the way it is, just as long as I've got leverage to remove these. That should be fine. It's always good practice when you're working on the engine, doesn't matter how old the vehicle is neither, disconnect the battery, and then that'll prevent any sparks or anything, especially when you're dealing with fuel. So I've got the first part disconnected, this other part I'm struggling to get out, so I may need to strip a wee bit to get into it. We've managed to get it, the top injector rail removed, so I just need to get in there and get that injector number 1 out. So got the injector out. What I decided to do was go for the lower bolts that hold the cradle in, just so that I can get the full bit out and I'm not working on it in an angle. So I can get that up, get it positioned up and back in. So I think it'll be better working on it from this angle, 100%. Feels actually great to work on something with such nostalgia. It's somewhat soothing. I used to get great satisfaction working on cars years ago, but now because everything's becoming electric and just more hands-off-ish, it puts you off working on cars. But when you get to work on older cars like this here, it kind of makes up for it. Now comparing the both of these, they look different. Okay, there's developments. Right, this is the one that came off it. That other one that I showed you is the complete incorrect one. So that is the joys of buying from eBay. eBay search engine was telling you this is the one for that car, but it actually wasn't. So I've messaged the seller with the actual part number to see if they would be decent enough to do an exchange with me, and then take it from there. So hopefully it'll not take too long. I had a look inside the affected injector and it was like corroded. It was like a corrosion build-up. So I've given it a clean out. It was like rusty liquid that came out. Obviously I sprayed the cleaner in. I'll put it back together again. I don't know whether that would be causing the voltage to go up and down. I suppose it would if it's not getting the right reading, but I'm putting it down 100% to a faulty injector. But I've cleaned it. I'll put it back together again, and obviously what have I got to lose? But I'll need to get a new injector anyway, so I'll hopefully exchange it with the one that I bought before, because I've not dirtied it or anything. Fingers crossed. Injectors on. Obviously I cleaned it out and it seems to be running, ticking over a hell of a lot better, but I'm only going to know if I take it out on a run, so let's do this. Feels instantly better. Well, what I can say is what a difference. It is responsive, and whenever I went up the hill there, wheel spinned a wee bit. Because beforehand I wasn't able to do anything of the sort. It was misfiring and not running right at all. That voltage reading on that injector was all over the place. Would a blocked injector cause that? Well, it's looking like it was causing it. And it's one step closer to going through an MOT. I'm going to get one of my friends over to give it a valet, a polish, get it looking its best, because considering the paintwork isn't that great on it, like it's got lacquer peel and that, but see, at the end of the day the car is 1986, so it's an old car. What's to be expected? But the fact of the matter is the car is solid and it'll make somebody out there happy. You know, should I put it on eBay? Should I do a private sale? You know, eBay is kind of unpredictable now.